Our holy wells. There is only one holy well in our parish, and it is in the townland of Clonagoose, beside the graveyard. The well is in a bog. People visit that well once a year on the 29th of July.
At Clonagoose, beyond the little green graveyard gate, in a plot of soupy, shaky ground, the well-hidden well was eventually found. The farmer, like a warrior, yielding the slash hook, revealed a bowl of the earth, round, stone-built, clear-floored, filled with the fluid of ancient sustenance. People came, said their whispered prayers, swirled the scum algae off the surface with a jar, took a swig and left. Others before them must have came with sores and secrets, leaving offerings, fluties, to carry ailments, absorb them the way the saints instructed. Others in times before imagined the bubbles coming up at intervals were signs of life, a hive of pulse and impulse, where the pagan danced in bloody fires, praised the spring as the centre of his universe. Now we stand in a field in winter. We stare at the shrine as if waiting for it to speak. We drink whatever's left, share the silence, share the absence.
Clonagoose, the Pattern Day would have been the last Sunday of June. There's no cures associated with it, the well, but it would have been attended by pilgrims, and they would have left offerings.
On the Feast of the Blessed Virgin, they had to walk around the well a certain number of times, reciting the rosary and other prayers. When the devotions were over, they turned to thoughts of singing and dancing, and unfortunately drinking, and by degrees the feast day became a fair day.
And do you want me to ask you something while you're doing that? This land's been in your family for a couple of, am I right? For a couple of years anyway.
Back from my grandmother's time anyway.
Yeah. But the origin of it would be the association with the medieval church and the graveyard. Like, it would be very common. So, you know, ideally the tradition would be that the saint would come, look for water to cook, to bathe, before the church was ever built. Okay. And then he or she, usually a male I suppose, would kind of settle in the area if the local chieftains were happy with them, like a missionary basically, kind of live their life. And then because they'd make a link with the chieftains, they might be given a little plot of land, you know, because they weren't a threat. And then obviously they'd be trying to spread the religion. You're probably in Ireland, I suppose, look, from St. Patrick onwards, so you're kind of talking certainly 8th, 9th, 10th century on around then. You know.
Far back as that?
Yeah, they might come from another country, they'd have travelled, they'd be well educated. So they'd often bring maybe a new style of agriculture. Very often that's where the cures were really important. If people were sick, you know, they'd probably have quite a good understanding of the vegetation in the area, the use of ointments and stuff like that. So they could effectively kind of make ointments and simple enough cures they could give people. So of course they then became quite specialised in this, and people, it kind of won over the people to a certain extent.